Man, y'all are talking about me again. I'm leaving.
I'm sick and tired of this.
Gotta rub it in. Gotta rub it in. That's fine. I'm done with y'all. Y'all have a nice night. You see what you did? You see what happened?
Welcome to this episode of How to Crush No Limit Hold'em Games in United States Casino. I'm Jun. Today we're still playing cash game in MGM National Harbor Casino, and this is the second episode of last week. And if you haven't watched the last episode, please click the link below and let's go fishing. Today we're playing small blind big blind 1-3 game and continue our last week's session, and the first hand we're gonna share is +1 and hijack player limped, and the cutoff player open raise to 15 bucks, and cutoff player is rather a recreational player. He has one hand on the small blind and holding ace-10 of diamonds, and check call check all in on a ace-queen 6-9 board, and it's a three-way pot, and he loses all his stacks. So now I think he's a bit on tilt. And now I got pocket kings on the big blind, so I definitely want to 3-bet him for value. I 3-bet him to $60 and all folds to him, he chooses to call. And flop comes king 9-7 rainbow. It's a good flop for us because we hit the top set, but simultaneously the opponent has less combos can pay us. So I choose to check. Then he bets 45 bucks, 1/3 of the pot. I choose to call and set up a trap for him, and turn comes a jack of clubs. I choose to check, and very sadly he also chooses to check back, and river comes another jack, and I hit the top boat. Now I think I have to start betting for value because I think some of his pocket pairs may choose to check back, and if he got a jack, probably he will want to raise me, so I won't miss value. So I choose to bet for 120. And very sadly, he chose to fold. And it's also so close for me to have another high hand opportunity.
High hand? No.
No, absolutely not.
I know, but I have.
King's full house.
Yeah, no, I believe
So
that.
close.
That I believe. Pocket king, pocket king.
The next hand is really interesting. It's low jack player, open raise to 15 bucks. I got ace queen offsuit on the bottom, and I 3-bet to 55 bucks. If you have watched the last episode, you will remember I cooler one player in a 200 big blind pot, and also I got the high hand bonus, so one hand I win over 300 big blinds. In the same session I get ace queen offsuit again. I choose to 3-bet. I also show my card to earn some credibility.
This is my favorite hand.
And unexpectedly, it brought up the painful memories that our white friend don't want to recall, and he made a gesture to leave.
You won a lot of money off that hand. I guess that outs. Man, y'all are talking about me again. I'm leaving. I'm sick and tired of this. Gotta rub it in. Gotta rub it in. That's fine. I'm done with y'all. Y'all have a nice night. You see what you did? You see what happened?
And of course, he was just joking. After the next round of hand, he returned to his seats and continued to fight. And the next hand is hijack player limped. I got 8-9 offsuit and raised it to 21 bucks. He chose to call. Flop comes 5-5-7-2 hearts. He checked me. Here I got a 2 overcard and a gut shot, and also I only got 9 high, so I choose to bet for 15 bucks, and he chose to call. Turn comes a 9 of diamonds. He checked me. This 9 gives me a top pair, and also there's a double flush draw on the board, so I think I have to value bet to get some value from his draws and high cards, so I bet for 40 bucks. He chooses to call. When river comes a queen of clubs, he checked me. And I don't think I can get value from worse if I continue betting, so I choose to check back.
I missed.
And he says I missed, and we successfully took down this pot. And the next hand is I got king 4 offsuit on the small blind, and cutoff player and bottom player all limped. I choose to call, and big blind also checks. And flop comes king 4 3 2 diamonds, and we hit the top 2 and I choose to check. And all checks to bottom player, he bets 15 bucks. And there's also a lot of player on the pot, so I choose to call, wishing them to make some mistakes, but sadly all fold. And turn comes a king of spades. I hit the top boat and I choose to check. And this time bottom player also check back. And river comes a 8 of hearts. And this time I choose to overbet 60 bucks. And it is because all the draws are missed, so I try to represent a polarized range, hoping he can call me with some middle pairs, and also because there are 2 kings on the board, so it may be less likely he would trust me. And after I bet, the player calls and I shows my full house and take down this pot. And also our white friend has some interesting comment about this hand.
Full house.
Damn. I had a pair, pocket pair below a king. If that would have hit, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, pocket 6s, man. If that would have hit, he would have doubled up again.
Thank you.
Man, sometimes you get lucky and you don't hit.
That's right.
And the next hand is a extremely interesting hand. And start with low jack white friend and hijack player all limped, color player also limped. I got pocket 9s on the bottom and I raise it to 21 bucks and all calls. The flop comes 3 aces and it's a very rare and interesting flop. And turns out the first action low jack white friend dunk all in for like 120 bucks. And hijack and color player all folds. Wow, this is an extremely interesting all-in because on this board is very obviously I would have the most ace in my range because I'm the pre-flop raiser. Also, I will have all the large pairs like kings and queens in my range, and he still dunk all-in this spot. So I think he's representing a really strong range. And this is very interesting because I also got qualified for high hand. If I call this hand and win, I will have ace full of 9s. So beside this pot, I can also get 400 bonus of high hand. This is a very rare situation where I can also get extra EV other than chip EV in cash game. But actually, I don't think opponent will have any bluff in this situation, and we can also make decisions based on what opponent says.
Put that down there to him. He's gonna did it anyway. I got to, guys. I don't have a.
And actually, I think this is a lot of information. And most cases, opponent says no means yes. So I still fold my pocket 9s eventually. And turns out opponent shows ace jack of diamonds. He really got a 4 of kind.
Alright, I trust you.
Yeah,
I trust you.
I got to. I don't have a.
Wow.
I don't have
my
the kicker.
God.
33.
Oh my god.
The kicker to play around.
Well, no, I can't because if the kicker queen comes, I lose $400. I don't have $400 here. You know what I'm saying? I can't play around. That's why I didn't want somebody to call me. I just didn't want nobody to call me. That's all.
It's the no judgment zone, man.
Now, if I had,
We all
like,
make
if I had,
questionable
like,
plays.
And after this, everyone is talking about the way he plays. Actually, he missed on a lot of value because I got pocket 9s and I folded. But what he's thinking is that he don't want to lose the $400 bonus because he don't have $400 behind. And if turn or river comes a king or queen, his kickers won't play and he won't qualify for a high hand. And he will be super tilt. And for me, if I am like ace 2 or ace 3, this type of hand, I think is quite reasonable to play this way. But I think ace jack is bigger enough, so I think he can choose to check raise, trying to get more value from me. I don't know what's your idea about this hand. Please leave a comment if you have any ideas for this. Very interesting. And the next hand is low jack player raise it to 15 bucks. I got pocket jacks on cutoff and I 3-bet him to 45 bucks. He calls. Flop comes 2, 3, 6 rainbow. He checked to me. Here I got an overpair. I definitely want to bet for value, and I bet for 40 bucks, and he shoves all in right away.
All in.
About 240. And this is a tough decision again. And here we can see like wizard, and so on 2, 3, 6 rainbow, cutoff versus low jack 3-bet pot. Over pairs that's larger than queens, definitely want to c-bet. And actually pocket jacks we want to sometimes check and sometimes bet. And if we want to choose, we would choose combos don't block opponent's backdoor flush draw, and which is jacks with a heart with higher frequency. And facing our bet, low jack has to check raise some of his ranges, such as pocket deuce, pocket 3 and 6s, this kind of set, and also 5-6 or ace-5, this type of hand. And facing opponents all in, the wizard would suggest us call 80%. But actually, I think it's only a reference, and on live poker, we need to adjust our strategy based on opponent's tendency. And I think this player, although before this hand he's got ace-10 to overshove on an ace-high board, but I think he won't have too much bluff on this board. And plus, he has some confident talking on the table.
Allin.
That's fucked up. How come you don't trust me? Trust him. That's fucked up. I don't want to say
So after a deep tank, I choose to fold. And he shows pocket 3. Although we lose this pot, but we correctly folded 2 consecutive hands, which is very good. The next hand I got my lucky combo of this session, ace queen suited again, and low jack player raised it to 15 bucks, high jack player calls, I 3-bet to 60 bucks, and 2 player calls. Flop comes jack 9-3 rainbow, and they check to me. And because we're in position, so I still try to c-bet this pot, and I bet for 50 bucks, and turns out 2 players all choose to call. And turn comes at 7 of clubs, so I get a backdoor flush draw. And when I'm thinking if I'm gonna bluff this spot, low jack player check to high jack player, and he shoves all in for 200 bucks. And here I don't think I can call this spot, so I fold it. And to our surprise, he shows pocket 7s, and he hit a turn set. And actually, I'm not sure why he can call pocket 7s on the flop when I'm betting and the low jack player calls. Probably pocket 7 is his lucky combo. The next hand is I got ace-9 suited on the bottom, and there's 3 limpers before me, and I raise it to 21 bucks. And small blind player choose to call and other fold. Flop comes king, queen, 9, 2 clubs, and I hit a bottom pair plus nut flush draw. And small blind dunk all in for like 48 bucks, so I choose to snap call.
I call.
And turn comes a jack of clubs, so I hit the nut flush. And river comes a ace of spade. I successfully took down this pot. And to my surprise, the opponent shows pocket 8s, a mysterious action again. And a new player comes in, and he see my stacks, and he made some interesting comments.
Keep building Christmas trees over there.
The next hand is I got queen jack of spade under the gun, and I raise it to 15 bucks. Cutoff player and big blind choose to call. Flop comes ace 3, 7, 2 diamonds. Big blind check to me. Here I got nothing, and plus big blind is a tight player, so I think he has some good combos in his hand, so I choose to check. And cutoff player also check. Turn comes a 9 of clubs. Didn't help me, and all player check again. River comes a 4 of diamonds, and a front door flush complete. And big blind bets for 10 bucks, like 1/4 of the pot, which is a really small bet. And I don't think I can win anything, so I choose to fold. And very interestingly, cutoff player cannot help but choose to call. And he shows pocket 6s. And big blind had a nut flush, and I'm very surprised he bet a small size with nut flush.
Are you trying to steal the pot? I got a pair of 6s. I'm gonna see it.
We'd like to see your flush.
That's a terrible hand. You trying to steal that pot?
And the next hand is the last hand of today, and high jack player limped, bottom player also limped. I got queen 10 of diamonds and raise it to 21 bucks on the small blind. Both players choose to call. Flop comes Jack 3 for rainbow. I got a high card and backdoor flush, backdoor straight. On this very dry board, I bet 20 bucks and hijack player calls.
20.
Turn comes a king of clubs, a very good card for my range, and also got a double-ended straight draw, so I continue bet 60 bucks. I'm hoping he can fold some pocket 5s to pocket 10s this type of hand,
$60.
and he chooses to call. River comes a 8 of clubs, and very sadly we did not hit our straight, but I still choose to fire the third bullet for 150. I'm hoping he can fold some pair of jacks, and this player tanked for a really long time, and finally he chooses to call.
Oh,
You win.
I was just hoping you had ace queen again.
And he shows king queen offsuit. And very interestingly, the reason why he chose to call is because our favorite hand ace queen missed on this board. And very sadly, we lose the last pot and we end today's session. Overall today I had a very great session and I have run super well, super smoothly, and also I had a lot of interaction with the players on the table. And this is why I enjoy live poker over online poker, because this is really interesting to interact with the players on the table. And today I bought in for 300 bucks and cash out 2043, including the high hand bonus, which is a very exciting session for me. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.
That is your chance to be ruthless.